trains, planes, and boats? Hey everyone, and welcome to Groove Builders, the show where we create together. I'm your host, Disorderlycone, and in this episode, we're going to be building the SS Great Britain from our friends over at Metal Time. For those who might not know, the SS Great Britain was one of the first ships to be completely made out of metal, and before this, everyone thought it was going to sink, but believe it or not, it was actually one of the fastest boats of its time, making it quite iconic. And today, you can go see it for yourself and see this wonderful ship in all of its details. Now, the question becomes, what kind of detail did the Metal Time team decide to put into this model? How well do all the pieces go together, and what tools are you going to need? These are all great questions, and we're going to get the answers. Let's get down to the workbench and open up our package. Go with the models. And boom, there we have it. All of our pieces needed to build the SS Great Britain from Metal Time. Let's go ahead and grab our first couple of pieces here. And the first thing we're going to be doing is actually bending this into kind of a half rectangle, if you will. And because we know this metal is a little bit more flimsy than what we're used to, we're going to just be grabbing it very carefully, just like this. There we go. And then I'm going to grab this little top piece here. There we go. Building the SS Great Britain from Metal Time. Now, before we get too far along here, we need to talk tools because this build definitely has a few tricks up its sleeve. The first tool that I'm going to recommend is a good pair of nippers. These are great for being able to get into our metal sheets and cut out all of our pieces. The only thing we need to make sure we do is get as close as we possibly can to our parts before cutting them. This way we don't leave any leftover metal on the actual part itself. If you find that yours has a little bit of a metal tower on it, you can try to use a rasp to get some of that off there, but I really don't recommend using a rasp on these pieces. They're just a little bit too thin for that. So a good cut is all you need. Just take your time doing it, and it should turn out pretty good. Now, the next thing we need to do is bend some of our pieces and secure those tabs. And I found the best tools for that is a good pair of pliers, like these guys right here, and a tab bending tool. The tab bending tool is great because it has a cut on either end, allowing us to be able to place this over our tabs and either twist them or bend them down. But it also has a really cool cylinder shape here, which is great for getting some of those sails bent correctly. However, our pliers here are really awesome to use. They allow for a lot of control, and with their long edges here, they allow for more of the part to be bent at one time, allowing for a lot less warping. Good pair of pliers goes a long way. Now, these are just our suggestions, and you really don't need anything but a good pair of nippers and pliers to build the SS Great Britain, but of course, having some other tools will make everything a lot easier for you. All right, now let's get back to the build. Not bad, not bad. Even though we had to take it apart, I still think we did okay. Now we can place this one down here and grab our next one, and I wonder if I did the same thing with this one as well. Yeah, I did. Okay, so we got to bend them the other way. Just make sure before I do this, though. If I hold it like this, yes, it's the opposite. So we need to have this the other way. There we go. Same thing as we've done before. Basically, yeah, just like that. Okay, so a nice little roll here again. Do like this. I'm gonna grab this guy right here. 90 degrees down. 90 degrees down. There we go. And this one needs another bend, so we're gonna use the smaller one here. We're gonna give it a nice little roly-poly action here. There we go. And now, I believe I take this piece and bend it at the little mark, and then we're gonna take this piece It's actually a whole little guy here. And we're going to bend that 90 degrees. There we go. And this top portion actually needs to be bent up. There we go. So okay. There we go. Excellent. And now we can grab our sail here. And I hope that I bent this one correctly. And it looks like I did. Okay. Okay. That looks way better. That's the way it's supposed to be. This is wrong. I'm going to come back and fix that one. But for the most part, I'm actually really happy with that. So now that I know how these are done, it'll be a lot easier to complete the rest of them. So let's go ahead and do that. Awesome. Okay, now let's go back to this first one here and fix this. There we go. Just trying to relieve a little bit of stress off that, but there we go. We got it all set. Now we get to add on some other details here. And I'm just trying to think about what's the best way to do this. It looks like for the most part, I don't have to worry about these interfering with each other too much, but I'm still going to attach them together. That looks pretty good. And then this connects into our post. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to go ahead and place some of these in place. I'm going to use this side. There we go. Okay. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Looking pretty straight. Now let's grab this here. I'm wondering if we should put that in there first and then go for these. Yeah. Doesn't really matter, it looks like, because it popped out and it still went in. So it looks like this is actually really symmetrical. So that's actually a really good thing on Metal Time there. Good job, guys. Okay. Right here. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to do this, and then we're going to take the flag. Just need to make sure our flag is not upside down, and we're good there. Nice. Okay, let's move on to part 3. Okay, now we're going to be doing the top of the ship here, which we want to make sure that the laser engraving is on the outside, something like this, okay? And what we need to do is actually attach the front here, it looks like, before attaching the bottom pieces. So that's what I'm going to do first. We're actually going to attach the rail in between those. We might be okay on the propeller until the end, but we're going to have to pop that out as well before we attach the bottom. So flipping this over, let's start by, and I'm going to do this to start me off. Get that nice 90-degree bend in here. Yeah, that looks great. Sometimes I forget to use my desk. I'm a silly goose like that sometimes. There we go. And now, let me see if I can get in here again. I'm basically trying to line up this tab so that as I get this underneath and in, this one wants to go in at the same time. It's like a 2-for-1 here, like that. Yeah, oh, it was in and it went out. Oh, shoot. There we go. Very French, very, very French. Okay. You get a push. And now you get a push. Good. And now you get a connection. Thought that was a scratch. It's a Mr. Boba hair. I swear, in every video, he makes at least one appearance. You just don't always see him. All right, there we go. Now, I think I can bring this down 90 degrees like this. And now, I think I do this, and like that, and like this, like that. And now we just meet all these pieces. But before I do that, let's get the railing in place because I don't want to forget about that railing. Let's grab these. And I'm going right to where that little notch is, that little dot. I'm going right to there. The plus side to this is that these little tabs here are super easy to bend up. But I know that if you mess up, you really only get like 2 chances and then they break. I'm not sure which one I like better, the Metal Earth version or the Metal Time version just yet, but I think I'm favoring the Metal Time version of the tabs just because they seem to be a little bit more easier to insert, but also like, you know, they don't have as much detail on these ones as the Metal Earth ones. So there's some give and take here, but I really like these models. I like the simplicity of them. I like the way the metal feels. There's a lot of cool stuff to these. So I'm hoping that these guys kind of become a little bit more popular. And this goes on the inside and out like that. So that's what that looks like. Let's get the railing in place now that I have all those tabs bent. And I'm going to try to use, because this metal is so easily bent, I'm actually not bending this. I'm trying to let it do it itself. Okay, that looks about right. I actually need to add another piece on the back before we go any further. Now this is going to be bent into a triangle, but I'm a little bit wary of it yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend it 3/4 of the way. And then when I'm ready to commit, I will bend it separately. But I think that's how that goes. And it gets bent like this. It's so flimsy though. Like I'm really worried about that breaking. Oh well, we will continue on and we'll see how it goes. We gotta pop these guys out next. 1 and whoopsie, 2. If you know where that's from, me when I say whoopsie, I would love to know. I would love for you to make a comment down below. There's a couple of things from the early internet days that I wonder if some people would actually know. I watch a lot of YouTube, so I know that there's definitely some people out there that kind of rock nostalgia buses. But there's one thing I haven't seen quoted at all. And my friends and I loved it, and we would always make jokes about it. But it's just not pop culture. It's like, you know, Homestar Runner and all that. That was back in the day too. That was fun times. Homestar Runner. Strong bad emails. All right, so now that's there. Let's add these guys on now, finally. And then we'll add the anchor after and close her up. Okay. That. Okay, so the thing is you don't want to close this up until you get these last little two guys actually done up. He's going to be loose back here. That's okay. We'll make it look really good for the photos. You won't even know. But for your own reference, you actually want to make sure that this is attached here. I'll make sure to put a note when I'm making that mistake so that you guys don't do the same thing that I do here. That would not be fun. Now, let's see if we can get this all bent into the right shape. Okay. And now these get fed in and out. So let's see here. Okay. So let's get this right here. This one's going to be more of a bitch. This one is going to be more of a pain in the ass. I don't think it's gonna be that bad because this metal is pretty good, but I still feel like I could squish the entire thing though. Whereas like with some of the other metal model builds that we've done, they feel like rocks by the end. This is not the case with these guys. They still feel pretty fragile. The tank though, the tanks that I built, they always seem like no matter what you do, the tanks always seem like they are rock solid. Okay, like that. That looks so good. I love it. Okay. All right, let's close her up. I think it's better for me to close it like this. Is it? Yeah, let's do that. Or fold to the back, I should say. These guys are going to fold right to the rear. It's not a great connection to do that, but it looks better. So that's the way we're going about this one. All right, there we go. Looking good. That's cool. That is cool. Now let's fashion this little stand here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen eventually. Okay, let's grab it like this, and like these. And we're going to use my big old pliers here. Yeah, that is not fun. Okay, SS Great Britain. Love it. Now, let's attach the two pieces together. I'm just going to push my tools over here, place you right here. Look at that. And we're almost done. Isn't that great? Okay, here we go. I'm almost wondering if it would have been better for me to actually... I couldn't have actually done that. Okay. There we go. Did I get it? Oh, of course, the one that's like, oh no, that's actually good. Okay. Okay. Oh, Mr. Boba. Yes, it's a Metal Time model. All right, fine. You're not going to leave me until this is done. So let's just do this together, buddy. But do me a favor and just try to avoid touching the model too much. I know you're in the groove builder mood, but I am going through a bit of a time. Ah, we got it. You know what? I needed your help, and that's all I needed. I needed Mr. Boba on the table. Okay. What do you think? Pretty cool, isn't it? I think it's cool. I love you too. I just gotta get this last tap here, buddy. There we go. Oh, we got one more tab right here. I know you want pets. Give me a minute. You know the rules. All right, big guy. What do you think? We did it. We did it. It's true. We finished it. Look. See? We can take it now, and we can place it right here. And boom, there we have it. The SS Great Britain in all of its glory. Yes, this build was actually a lot of fun to put together and quite simplistic too. I did mess up one part, of course, at the beginning there with one of the sails, but after I figured out exactly how it was supposed to be bent, it was actually extremely straightforward. Yes, these instructions are simplistic, and if you don't pay attention to the exact details that are on it, you will find yourself installing some of these things on the wrong way, which is really my only complaint when it comes to these builds. It's almost that the instructions are too simplistic in nature and need to have a little bit more hand-holding throughout them to make the process of building this model that much better. Yes, having part numbers could really help, but also having a different perspective might have made this a little bit easier for me to be able to put everything together. It's still a very simplistic model, and if you've built a lot of models in the past, I'm sure you're going to have no problem building this one. I actually feel quite comfortable handing any of these more simplistic models to a brand new modeler out there because they're so easy to follow, and with their unique shapings and really nice finish, I think they make a perfect addition to almost any collection. And if you've been looking for something a little bit different, I think you might want to check these out. You won't be disappointed. Alright, that brings us to the end of our show. I had a really good time building the SS Great Britain with you, and if you guys had a good time, don't forget to press that like button. For more videos like this, hit subscribe as well, as we got all kinds of really cool content coming in the future, and I would love to have you there. Thank you so much to Metal Time for sending me this really awesome model to build. These guys are a lot of fun to work with. They send me some really awesome models. They don't pay me for any of these reviews. These are 100% my own opinions. They don't even get to see the videos before I post them, but they are really supportive of the channel and supportive of the community, and I want to do everything I can to promote good companies like that. Until next time, Groovers, keep building. All right, now we got some sailing to do.